Good morning, welcome. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the 4th, the 5th, the 6th of June 2024. So I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons for June, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia. I'm almost in the middle, but up north a bit of Tasmania, and right now it is Tuesday the 4th of June, and the time is 7:59 a.m. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards here that I created. So I've got two decks combined. We have the Speed of Light oracle cards and my Animal Kingdom oracle cards. Each deck has 55 cards, so that means I have 110 cards in my hand, which I love to use. This is my favorite deck to use for readings. So I will be using this deck to find the best card for Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, and then I'm going to pull the theme card for those 3 days. So I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. Think of this as a guide only, and just so you know, I'm not doing personal reading requests here. I am doing this general reading for everybody. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and what that reason is, I trust will reveal itself to you as we go and as things unfold. So let's see what happens. Good morning, Sam. Thank you. These are my new earrings that I'm making at the moment, which I hope to put some on the website later today, or probably tomorrow most likely. So thank you. Welcome everybody. Let's get straight into it. Let's look for the best cards now for Tuesday the 4th of June. Tuesday the 4th of June, the best card for the majority of us, I trust, will make its way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards, which is right for me. So the best card for Tuesday the 4th of June for the majority of us, hi Lynn, thank you, is this. It's a Speed of Light oracle card, and it's projection card 15. It says vision, focus, concentration, and chaos. So the chaos in this are the distractions. The chaos for some of us may be new, unsettling, unruly, scattered energy that's new, change basically that's in the air. So that could be the chaos within this card, perhaps for some of us. For others of us, it's probably the pull of distractions, the temptation of distractions that are taking us away from our focus. That can also lead us into chaos, and that feeling of chaos, or sort of a lack of control in some ways, not knowing what's going on, being in the unknown. So that's one element to this card, but probably the strongest element, at least what I'm feeling at this time, is this focus energy. And so Tuesday feels like a very favourable day for us to focus on what needs to be done. Focus on the projects or the plans or the goals or the things that we need to focus on, and try our best to be 100% focused on the things that we're focusing on, rather than partly focused but then our mind is worrying and thinking about this other thing, which means that we're probably not getting the task done as well as we could be, or even as efficiently as we could be. I find if I can cut out distractions and just focus and give myself what works for me and my personality are pockets of time. So it might be an hour, it might be 30 minutes, it might be 4 hours that I'm dedicating to something. And I want to give that, whatever that dedication is my all. Some of us may also be thinking about, in the next couple of weeks or the next month or so, what we're going to focus on to move forward. So there's probably a longer term or an immediate sort of semi-long term goal or plan or project or thing that we're thinking about doing. It could be getting our garden into order. It could be improving our body's health through exercise and eating better. That requires a more of an ongoing focus. It might be a project that we're working on manifesting that requires our focus and attention. So on Tuesday, we might be ready to amp that up, ready to focus more, ready to push the distractions away and just focus our way through whatever it is that we're doing. Also, there is a vision element. What is our vision? What is the vision for our future? What is the vision that we're hoping to achieve? What is the end result or a loose vision of our garden that we're working towards, or this project, or a better health, or doing more exercise, or whatever it might be that's been on our mind. So that's for Tuesday. Favourable energy to focus, and especially focus perhaps on our vision. So thank you very much. Good morning. Hi, Sabine and Alicia. Gemini season, says Sam, and my birthday next week. We'll have a happy rebirth day, Sam, for next week. And hello, Shauna. Welcome, everybody. Let's now look for the best card that the majority of us need for Wednesday, the 5th of June. Wednesday, the 5th of June, the best card is this. It's another Speed of Light. These have been very popular lately. It's Chakra Activate, card 7, and it says upgrade, new level, initiation, and celebrate. So there's a cause for celebration, most likely on Wednesday. Now, if life has been difficult for you, perhaps in the last few weeks or the last few months, or you could probably say the last few years, which hopefully it's not the case, but let's say it's been difficult for a little bit for you, then celebration may be a bit of an extreme word to use. So it might be something we can reel back and say perhaps it's a time for gratitude, a time for appreciation. If things have been going all right and you've been in a reasonably good flow and life's going pretty well for you, then you might be quite happy to open up to that idea of celebration. But we can reel it back to gratitude and appreciation if celebration's just a bit too much. There might be a cause for celebration. There might be some news or something that comes in that is uplifting and at least prompts a sense of gratitude, if not celebration itself. But we are ready to upgrade and move part of our lives and ourselves to the next level. And this comes off the back of that focus card. So it does require focus to take our life to the next level. So if there's something in our life, something within us that hasn't been working for a while, we might be looking at how we can balance things up. What do we need to change? Where can we focus our attention that is most healthy and most supportive for us? And then as we do that, that will most likely pull us into this upgrade sort of space where we probably feel, at least initially, that we're working towards something that's uplifting. There is this sense of fireworks going off because this celebration, appreciation energy within this card. When I drew this illustration, this represents the crown of the head, and this energy sort of coming up from the crown. So the crown usually highlights or brings highlight to our connections. So what do you feel disconnected from or separated from? Perhaps even yourself. In your relationships, maybe life itself. What is feeling disconnected for you, and how can you reconnect? How can you plug back in to the things that are important to you? And I guess that's coming back to that focus card too, because it's up to us to choose what's important for us to focus on. We could be focusing on worry and stress and what's happening on the other side of the world that's not really got anything practically to do with us in our everyday life. But that could be a distraction. That could be in many ways what we're choosing to focus on. And especially if we've become a bit lazy with our thoughts, and our thoughts are just on their own tangents, and we're just being fed by fear and negativity, then we're going to be a bit it's sort of a bit of a lazy mind, and the mind goes off on its negative tangents. So it is up to us. We can sort of train ourselves to become more focused and more focused on the things that I like to ask myself, is this healthy and supportive for me? And if it's not, then is this something I want to be focusing on? It might be for now, but it might not be. Is that thing I'm worrying about, is that thing happening on the other side of the world? Is that thing that's loud in the news? Is that something I really need to be giving my attention and time to and really focusing on? Because it could actually be a distraction from something that could be of better and more productive focus for me. So perhaps let's give some thought to those distractions versus focus. And are we focusing on the things that disconnect us, or can we focus on the things that connect us in some ways? So that's the Chakra Activate card for Wednesday. All right, let's now look for the best cards for Thursday, the 6th of June. Thursday, the 6th of the 6th. And the best card for the majority of us for Thursday is... Okay, we'll go with this card for Thursday. It's another Speed of Light. You wouldn't think there's any Animal Kingdom cards in this deck. We have Lotus Heart, which is card 22. So this is quite beautiful. It says Om Mantra, meditate, reconnect, and peace. This is finding peace in our hearts, peace within ourselves, and also peace of mind. It's easier to find peace of mind if we're focusing our attention on the things that are healthy and supportive. If we're focusing on the things that concern and worry and scare us, then we're probably not going to feel much peace of mind. In fact, we'll probably feel quite scared and unsettled. So let's make sure our focus is going in the right way and to the right place. Then that will help contribute and take us towards this energy of feeling peace within our heart and mind. There is a sense of, I want to use that word peace again, there is a sense of peace that wants to come in and settle into our hearts. You know, a peace that sort of feels like a contentment, a reassurance that everything's going to be okay. It is sort of absent of worry. There's probably a bit of fear there, but fear's normal. And I feel like if fear becomes loud for me, I try and my antidote to fear is to summon my courage, to build up my strength so I can push through that scary thing, whatever it might be. So fear is normal. Hopefully we don't feel it too much. And if we do, let's do what needs to be done to strengthen ourselves and move through that fear. It's a great time for meditation too on Thursday. A great time to connect and bring things back to center. Now this feels especially important too if we've been scattered and our energy feels a bit all over the place. And in other words, we can go back to that first card and probably add if we've been feeling unfocused. Because there's this feeling of bringing things back to center in the heart, almost like the heart is the eye of the storm. It's our calm place where we can find calm and peace and contentment. It also feels grounded in here because it's in our body. It's not out there as some tangent or some unfocused energy that we might be distracted by. So if your energy feels all over the place, then maybe over these next few days, see what you can bring your attention to. What can you focus on? It might be something simple like a hobby or something like this, or some affirmation that really sits well for you in your mind and in your heart. And it could be something reassuring like repeating to yourself, everything's going to be okay. Or for me, and I've mentioned this a few times, but for me, not that I do this that much these days, but if I'm feeling scattered and unfocused and worried about whatever, I'll remind myself to tend to the nest. Tend to the nest. It feels supportive and nurturing, and it reminds me to tend to the things that are important to me in my home, in my body, in my life, around my family. Tend to the nest, tend to the nest, and remind ourselves of that frequently if we need to get our focus back, to bring our attention back to center, back to our heart, move out of that scattered, distractive, unfocused energy. So a great opportunity, I feel, especially by the time we get to Thursday, if we're proactive in our focus, is to come back into the heart, come back into center. And it feels peaceful here. You know, it feels reassuring. You know, everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. So if you're a worrywart, how can you drop that worry and focus on the things that are actually truly important to you and your life? So there are our cards for the next 3 days. I trust something there resonated with you, and some of it you might not know until you get through these next few days. So see how you go. So I'm going to pull a theme card in a minute, but before I do, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Facebook, if it matters, you might want to hit the follow button and follow Temple of Balance on Facebook. Then you might receive notifications. You might not. But it doesn't matter because the power is in our hands. If you haven't seen Temple of Balance or your favourite pages for a while, especially on Facebook, go to the search bar and write Temple of Balance. And you can come straight to this page and you can scan the wall directly and see what you may have missed. I'm here a few times. I post a few times every day. So if you haven't seen my stuff for a while, just keep that in mind. If you want to learn more about these cards, the Speed of Light Oracle, or my Animal Kingdom that are being a bit elusive today, please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I've got a new drum that's going to be coming up. I'm going to be sharing later. I did mean to bring it in, but I didn't. It's out on my dining room table. So I will share that later. It's a Raven and it's pretty cool. I really love it. So I'm going to share that with you later. And if you want to learn more about my classes coming up, I've got the Card Reading Club on Zoom and my online art class coming up next week. That's the 13th and the 14th of June. So that's that. Check it out on my website if you're interested. And if you'd like to support my work, of course, which means that if you get something out of these videos, and if you haven't supported my work for a while or ever, then please, I encourage you to go and grab yourself a deck of cards or support my work in some way, because that's what keeps me being here. So thank you for your support. So I'm now looking for the best card for the theme. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for the 4th, the 5th and the 6th of June 2024. So the best card that the majority of us need to see the bigger picture, the theme card, is this. It's another Speed of Light, and it is this card. It's Tiger Claw. Oh, we haven't seen Tiger Claw for a while, and he's actually quite fun. Our card 40, Tiger Claw. He says, stand your ground, speak up, take action and find courage. He is strong, he is assertive, he wants to clear the air. So he's showing us that if there's some stuffy air around in some relationship between you and another person, or in an environment around you and the air feels stuffy, like heavy, and there's a big elephant in the room that no one's talking about, or there is something that's not quite right that you've been sitting on maybe for a little while, the Tiger Claw wants us to get our claws into something and clear the air, to stand our ground, to speak up. So there is a strong, assertive, courageous energy that comes with Tiger Claw. And, you know, are we being treated like a doormat? Are we being taken advantage of? We might need to step back, rebuild our strength and our courage, and prepare what we need to say. To say, no, I'm not going to be treated like this, or no, that's not going to happen. No, I'm not being taken advantage of. So there might be some situation like that that you've had on your mind, or that you feel quite powerless about, that is required. Now this could also, going back to our other cards, this could also be an attitude that we have towards our negative thoughts and worries. So if you've been on a negative tangent, if your mind has become a bit lazy, and it's just been off on negative tangents, and you're so stressed out and so worried about things that feel important at the time but probably aren't really that important in the grand scheme of things, then it could be standing your ground and getting back in charge of your thoughts and back in charge of your thinking. To actually literally show those negative thoughts the door and walk. What I like to do is I walk over to the door when that thought's popped in, and I kick it out of my room, I kick it out of my head, out of my space. So I open the door, I kick it out, and then I close the door, and almost every time it jumps back in. That first time it jumps back in, that negative thought. So I open the door and I show it the door again, and I tell it to get out. And then I close the door, and I might be walking back to what I was doing, and in it pops in again. So I go over to the door and I kick that thought out. And it doesn't really take that long to get back in charge of our thoughts. Well, it takes probably about 3 weeks, but that initial period of getting back in charge just requires a little bit of commitment and discipline, self-discipline, really. So what do you need to get back in charge with? Where do you need to stand your ground? Where have things been feeling scary and powerless for you? Where are you being taken advantage of? And what can you do over the next few days to stand your ground from your heart and speak up if that's what you need to do? So there's action in this card, which in general also shows that our theme for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is fairly active, and we might be feeling quite strong. And if we can heed that focus energy that I talked about for Tuesday, if we can follow that, then I feel like this is going to really put us off to these next few days with a really good start. We're going to have a really good start, step out on the right foot, if you like, with focus and attention, taking the action that we need to take. So that's that. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I trust you have a great couple of days, and I'll be back to share with you again very soon. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.